12 years ago, Camp Duffel wasn't a thing. It didn't exist. It was an idea. The idea was that camp is an amazing experience, and I wanted to be able to provide that at an affordable price to kids in Latin America, specifically Mexico at the time. And I really didn't know how that would look or what that would look like. And what has happened over these 12 years has been something that I could not have planned, I could not have dreamed of even, but here we are today with an organization that is serving literally around 1,000 kids every year with 50 counselors throughout all of Mexico and Colombia, Cuba, Haiti, Hungary, the United States, and looking to expand into more Latin American countries as well. But going back to the idea, when it was just an idea, I didn't really know, and I had a conversation with one of my mentors. I'd been working at a place called Deerfoot Lodge for 5 years, and the director, Ron Mackey, and I were having a conversation, and he said, "We're not gonna hire you next year." And I was like, "What? Why not?" He's like, you need to go do your thing in Mexico that you keep talking about." And I was like, okay, I think that sounds like a good idea. And they empowered me. I remember that summer buying plane tickets to fly to Mexico and calling up people and being like, "Hey, do you want to do a camp with me? Hey, do you want to do a camp with me?" And I got 4 people to say yes. I was super excited. And so I remember flying down to Mexico and doing camp for these 4 different churches. And I remember not being sure of what to bring. And so I just packed a duffel bag with, soccer balls and frisbees and rope and anything else I thought I might need. And let's admit it, the camps were horrible. They were unorganized, they were sporadic. I remember one time trying to teach kids capture the flag, and I spent maybe 15 or 20 minutes explaining all of the rules, and then everybody got on their opposite sides, and I said, "On your mark, get set, go." They just ran across the lines and grabbed the flag and ran right back, and it was hectic, and they were like, "We're done," and I was like, well, that didn't work. Like, that is not how you play capture the flag. And so we've grown since then. We've learned how to communicate rules for playing games. We've learned what activities work well and are portable and can be used for teachable activities. And we've learned how to help and empower the local church to train them to be able to become autonomous camps. That's what Camp Duffel does. We help local organizations empower them to train and develop their own camps. And so what we do is we work with these churches for 5 years, and we train them throughout that time to become autonomous. I'm so excited to see Camp Duffel continue to grow and continue to empower local churches to do camp. When did you first hear about Camp Duffel?
It was back in 2019.
Okay.
When you came to Tabasco by Lucrecia. You helped us. That was nice, like the first step. We recently started working with camps, so your help was really useful for us.
So what we're going on here is we're packing the duffel bags, the good old duffel bags. So this right here As you can see, this is activity number 1, this is activity number 2, activity number 3, activity number 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So we have 12 activities that we put in the duffel bags. We've expanded from originally 1 duffel bag, now we kind of have 3. So this is what's all in this bag as well, and these bags as well. So we have 3 circuits. So we have 3 teams, we have 30 counselors, 10 counselors in each circuit. And so these guys will go off and do all of their own camps. These guys will go off and do all of their own camps. And these guys will do all of theirs. So we're just times 3 on everything this year.
Obvio, soy yo.
Why did you decide to give a whole summer of your time and effort to serve this ministry?
I seen what God does through camps in my life first, but also in the kids and the teenagers at my local church. I want to encourage the idea of camps in my local church. First in my local church, but I know that it's the same in the other churches. But at the same time, I'm thinking about the Mexican family. We are short of resources. Sometimes we can afford like expensive programs, camps. So the way Camp Duffel handle with that, for me is awesome, because if a family has 2-3 children, they can afford that, because the local church is not expensive for them, you know. So I've been always thinking about how to help the people that doesn't have enough money to go to an expensive
Camp.
Yeah. So the way Camp Duffel works, I think that it works for Mexico.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, that's why we.
Yeah, that's why we're doing this. Yeah, thanks for volunteering with Camp Duffel this year.
Of course.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about who you are, what you're passionate about.
Okay, I'm from Tabasco. I'm 33, and I'm been working at my local church as a pastor. I'm helping the principal pastor, and I'm helping like the camp programs in the summers.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are you doing now with Camp Duffel?
I'm here learning. I think that Camp Duffel is helping me in my relationship with God. Now I can see many things to share with the volunteers in Tabasco.
And what's your role here?
I'm being trained to be a counselor by the summer.
Okay. And where all are you going to go?
I'm going to be in the team number 3. We are going to be traveling to Hidalgo, then we are going to move to Tabasco, and then we are going to go to Quintana Roo in the very south area. We are going to be back to Tabasco for 2 camps, once in Cárdenas and the next one in Tiapa.
Okay, and that's just your circuit?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Mine.
And what are you excited about?
I'm really excited about sharing what I learned here and what you and your dad share with us. I never been too close teaching kids, so it's gonna be kind of a challenge for me, but I'm pretty sure God is going to lead us.
Awesome. Yeah. Is Camp Duffel coming to your church this summer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's the first time that you are going to be completely leading the camp, and I'm really excited about that because what I always wanted was to my local church seeing what Camp Duffel does. This is going to be the first time.
So one of the things that makes Camp Duffel unique is that we have the counselors teach all of the activities. So behind me, we're training the counselors right now to teach the activities. So we have 12 or 13 different activities depending on the year, and the counselor is responsible to teach their 10 kids those activities. And then our counselors behind us, they travel from camp to camp to camp to camp, replicating and doing it again and again for the local churches.
Yeah, so I invented this game for Camp Duffel. We try to do team building games, and so this is a team building game. And the only thing that can touch the ground is the bulls in between the two ropes, and they have water in the bulls though, so they can't walk on them. So they're gonna have to distribute the water amongst themselves and share it so that they can use some of the bowls that are empty to use as stepping stones to get across. So they have to work together as a team. There's also balance involved because if they touch the ground, then they all have to start over, and they get more water. Yeah, if they can't dump the water out on the ground, they have to get the water across too.
Okay, gotcha.
After every team building activity, we debrief, and this is what a debrief looks like. We sit in a circle on the ground and we talk about what we could have done better, what we did well, and we learned from that experience and we grow as a team.
Eric has served Camp Duffel since 2018, right?
2018.
Yeah. So obviously you have given a lot of your life in return to Camp Duffel, many summers. My question for you is why? Why have you given so much? Your resources, time, effort, sweat, blood to Camp Duffel.
Well, I think I don't really volunteer for Camp Duffel. I am Camp Duffel. I firmly believe that we serve children who need it. We take camps to more places. And I think that goal is already part of me. And I like to serve in summers, knowing that we can achieve that goal. So giving so much time, it's not like a resource that I am spending, but rather investing. Because since I also want to achieve that goal, that blesses me.
And what is that goal that you and Camp Duffel are trying to accomplish?
Well, first we want to teach about Jesus so that the children know him wherever we go. And second, we want to support churches in knowing they don't need much preparation to start that camp. They don't need a lot of resources, nor a place with great things. They simply need a lot of enthusiasm, a great strategy, that is Camp Duffel, and a lot of motivation to want to do it. And I think that another vision is to be able to encourage new directors, new counselors, for them to disciple their children. And the fact that they go and take the time to form relationships in them is exponential discipleship. And that makes us fulfill the great commission that Jesus left us.
One of the biggest roadblocks for churches being able to do their own camps is leadership. To truly do camp right, I believe you need about a 1-to-5 ratio so that a counselor can pour into a kid. How do we overcome that hurdle? How do we get enough counselors for all of these kids? Well, in the US, you hire college students and they just go week after week after week after week with kids. But we're portable. How do we do that? So we actually transport the duffel bag to the kid. Instead of the kid coming to camp, we bring camp to the kid. And that saves tons of resources and finances because we're moving less people around. At the beginning of every summer, we have staff training. Staff training is an amazing time. It's probably one of my favorite times of the year. And it's where I get to talk basically nonstop about camp at people who are engaged and listening and loving all of it. And so we do all of the games ahead of time. We go through all of the Bible studies. We memorize the verses, and we even practice and get our awards. And so now we have trained counselors, and those trained counselors then go to church to church to church, putting on the camp again and again, using the curriculum and the resources of the duffel bag to provide that camp experience for kids. One of the beautiful things that has arisen out of kind of like tradition for Camp Duffel is the last night of counselor training, we pray for each other. And we put on this rope. And this rope is blue because it's the color of Camp Duffel. Camp Duffel is blue, but it also has reflective tape in it. And the reflective tape reminds us that we are to be a reflection of Christ. All Camp Duffel counselors have this blue band. And it means that they've been trained, they've gone through their week of training, and they can remember that they are to be a reflection of Christ to the kids and to the local church. There are literally hundreds of people throughout Latin America that now have this blue wristband. And we don't just wear it for the summer or the week at camp. I put this on in 2017 and I have not removed it. And so this has become a beautiful tradition and a beautiful tribe of counselors that are dedicated to a singular purpose, and that's providing more camps for kids in Latin America. When I started Camp Duffel, I started it out of a passion and a drive, and I was a youth pastor at the time. And it was just my own volunteer. I was just volunteering to help do camps in Mexico. And as it grew, I continued to volunteer and help do camps in Mexico. And I asked other people to volunteer with me. We have logged over 10,000 volunteer hours since the initiation of Camp Duffel. I, to this day, do not take a salary from Camp Duffel. I never have and I never will. I give some of my own resources to Camp Duffel, usually whatever's missing in our yearly budget. So I'm asking you to join us because Camp Duffel has continued to grow and it has become something that I believe is worthy of giving to. In order to make this a reality, in order to continue to grow, we need further funding. Right now, Camp Duffel's annual budget is around $30,000 and we need it to be around $50,000 annually. In fact, our overhead per kid going to camp is less than $45. So you can send a kid to camp to have a 4-day experience for $45. I don't know of another camp that can do it for that cheap. This summer alone, we had over 800 kids come to camp, and we have another camp in October that will be around 200 kids. And so we want to continue to see Camp Duffel spread to more and more churches so that more and more kids can have an affordable option to go to camp. And the way that we do that is that we make Camp Duffel portable. We are an affordable, portable camp. Thank you so much for taking the 20 minutes out of your day and watching this video. I've got one request for you. Would you consider joining our monthly donation team? Donations go a long way for us as a nonprofit, and we can't do it without you. So I know you didn't get to go down to Mexico and see all of the camps and see the smiling faces, but hopefully through this video, there was something that touched your heart. And if that's the case, I would ask that you consider joining us and becoming a monthly supporter of any amount. $10, $20, $45 sends a kid to camp. So you pick, but we would love for you to join our team. And please like our Instagram, comment, and spread the word about Camp Duffel, because you never know who needs to hear this.